right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday. And you know, we are doing serious research here at the Wine Watch. Every year for the last 10 years or more, we have tasted the new releases from Montalcino in May or April, because usually, well, they're not released until 5 years after the vintage in February, and the boat getting over here from Tuscany sometimes takes a couple months, so we usually wait until there's several examples of the new release, which 2011 did not get great press. Our good friend Vincenzo Abruzzese made no Brunello Montalcino, no Madonna del Piano, just Rosso di Montalcino, which usually means bad vintage. No, however, it was a hot vintage, and whereas he is located, he just didn't feel that he could put something in the bottle that he wanted his name on, and it said Brunello di Montalcino or Madonna. He charges us a lot for his wine. We have a lot of respect for our friend Vincenzo Abruzzese. For that reason, it's a huge financial commitment, but make no mistake, these 2011s are very charming wines, very drinkable wines, and that's one of the great things about different vintages, man. The 10s you want to hold on to. These 11s, just go ahead and drink them right now, while your 10s, you're keeping them for later. Even though Brunello's held back for 5 years in great vintages like 2010, it needs another 5-10 years in your cellar. The 11s, wow, great right out of the bottle. The Chianti Piccolomini, always one of the best to drink young. This wine, very forward and seductive bouquet, red berry fruit, wild strawberries, cherries, notes of incense, spice, flowers, sweet herbs, and just delicious on the tongue. Smooth tannins, very drinkable, plump, ripe fruit, that red licorice spice, lovely nuance here, excellent juice in the $50 price range. You will not find better Brunello than Chianti Piccolomini, the Pianrosa Reserva 2010. Wow. On the third day, I'm drinking it right now. Spectacular still. The Altesino Brunello Montalcino, to me, a unique expression of Sangiovese. This wine has a floral bouquet like none other wine on the table. You could pick it out easily just because of that potpourri of flowers, rose petals, the red berry fruit here, strawberry jam, just smooth and silky on the tongue. Lots of that perfume on the finish as well. Just another beautifully fresh and drinkable expression of Sangiovese here, this 2011 Altesino. Also around $50. Amazing the amount of top-level wines you can find in Montalcino for $50. The Gianni Brunelli, another small producer, around $50. And this wine had a unique kind of meaty and cocoa note to the nose, but still had that classic red berry fruit, a little herbs and black tar. Very soft and elegant style of Brunello. This producer makes like 2,000 cases, a restaurateur in Tuscany, and he has a restaurant in Tuscany, and like I said, making great wine and very reasonable, silky smooth tannins. This one also drinking beautifully right out of the bottle. The Uccelliera, one of my favorite producers. This wine was a little bigger than the other 11s. This wine may need a little bit of time. Graphite mineral notes to that wild strawberry fruit, the flowers and herbs, a really strong earthy component coming on the second day in this wine. This wine big and chewy, really a lot of structure for an 11, just that decadent red berry fruit and the savory herbs and flowers, a really strong minerally note, most excellent juice. My favorite of the 2011s, with the exception of the Tenuta Nuovo. The Castello Banfi, Poggiola. This is a separate estate. You know, the Banfi you see everywhere. This is not it. They also make a Rosso and a Reserva from this estate. This wine had a beautiful nose of dried meats, smoky, toasty notes of the red cherry and strawberry fruit, some nice earthy characters here, smooth and silky wine on the tongue. Also that smoky, meaty note coming through on the finish. Excellent juice. And then the Cantalicchio di Sopra. Most excellent, I have to say. This is my third favorite of the 2011s. And wow, a mix of dried herbs, flowers, that pretty red berry fruit showing nice concentrations. This wine opens up smooth and silky on the tongue like all these 2011, showing a mix of herbs and flowers and that dark spice on the finish. Most excellent juice. Maybe not fair to put the white label Casanova di Neri after Cantalicchio di Sopra, but I wanted to show it side by side with the Tenuta Nuovo, which is a little newer style. They use some barrique in this wine. You notice the toasty oak spice in the nose, but it has enough fruit to handle it for it not to take over. And wow, the Tenuta Nuovo, just a blockbuster, just overshadowed the white label. But I'll tell you what, this white label, always a great choice to open and drink young. A very light, pretty bouquet, sage, porcini mushrooms, dried flowers, lovely red cherry fruit, smooth and silky on the tongue. This wine, very balanced and an excellent example. But like I said, the Tenuta Nuovo took the wine of the night. That's right, it got most votes for first place. A 2011 And the Wolves were just following the 2010 vintage, which are monstrous wines. These wines need a day to open up. The next morning, I made my notes on all the wines, and I have to say, man, the Val de Cava Madonna, usually, I mean, to me, always candidate for wine of the night. On the first day, I don't think it got a vote for first. Got one vote for second. The next morning, wow, this wine really opened up. It's just a huge wine, but you know what? On the tongue, surprisingly light and elegant, and wow, just the tannins building into a crescendo after the finish on this wine. It's really long, and I would love to put this tasting on again 10 years from now, and I'll bet the Madonna will be the winner like it was at our vintage Brunello tasting where we showed the 01. Most excellent juice, but I'll tell you, the Canalicchio de Sopra, killer. My favorite of the 2010s on this evening. A dazzling array of that spice, the earth, the flowers, a lot of tannins. Just seemed a little riper. Just really massive wine. Killer juice. Seemed a little bit more balanced the first day than the Chiachi Reserva, but I'll tell you, I'm drinking the Chiachi right now. This wine, I mean, just incredibly rich. Like I said, these 10s, open them up the day before you're going to drink them. If you're going to try these Reservas, they need a ton of time to open up. This wine's got liqueur-like fruit. It's got that lovely floral quality, the spice. I mean, just everything in proportion. Most excellent juice. You want to own these 2010 Reservas if you love Brunello. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.